Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's vlog post. First really full week of July. We knew we were going to get some big economic data. Last week was quite depressing with the wildly out of the ordinary ADP number. Even though we supported it with the regular jobs report, the markets took it really hard. At least the bond market did. And we saw interest rates, go crazy again. And this week, things started to settle down beginning last Friday. And we saw some really decent, numbers earlier this week. And we saw the bond market trying to improve, mortgage rates trying to improve. And then yesterday, we got the CPI number, which was right in line with what many of us have talked about here for a while. We knew this number was coming. We knew eventually we were going to catch up, year over year numbers and start comparing things. We also knew that some of the old data, things that we talked about last week and the week before about how the Fed is looking at numbers that are, 60, 90, 180 days old, and they're looking at the economy and they're looking at the markets in the rearview mirror. Well, many other people get out there and look at real-time data and realize certain trends have been happening for quite some time. And that's exactly what happened in the CPI number yesterday. Things that were spiking the numbers for the Fed's belief that inflation was still out of control or not coming down as fast as they would like, kind of showed up. And we looked yesterday, and a lot of this was exactly what we had been talking about, and still not to the degree, because it's just the beginning of how things were going, especially the used car market in particular, but even new car sales are not what they were. And certainly they've actually turned and gone in another completely different direction. And I think the Fed is failing to see that. But here we are, on Tuesday, we had a really nice improvement in the bond market. We picked up 19 basis points. Yesterday, we picked up another 75. And I think this morning, when the PPI number comes out, it will be beneficial again, along with jobless claims. We might get some good news on both of those fronts, which may be another good day for us in the mortgage market. That UMBS 5.5% coupon has been all over the board. And, it has been amazing to me, the volatility, much of which could have easily been avoided, in my opinion, if the Fed was using real-time data. But it is what it is. And the old expression is you can't fight the Fed. And they're going to look at what they want to look at. They're going to have their opinions and their focuses at how they weight certain data and how their algorithms portray certain information. And it may or may not coincide with what a lot of the rest of the markets look like. But those markets really are challenged because on one hand, they see real-time data and they can look at what's going to happen or what has been happening in much more real time. But then they've got to balance it with the Fed looking through the rearview mirror at older numbers and trying to measure it out and see what the reaction is going to be. And we know, especially with this Fed and this Treasury Department, they absolutely positively refuse to not only use any real-time data, but they refuse to just step up to the plate and admit that they were wrong. And they, it doesn't settle the markets when that type of thing happens. Everybody can make a mistake. Everybody can make projections. Everybody can forecast. And, certainly it's within the realm of possibility for people to get that wrong for any number of reasons. But, the ability to go out and say, you know what, I thought this was going to happen and it didn't. I myself have sat here and said, you know what, I expected the market the bond market to do much better. I expected by this time we'd see interest rates in the low sixes, high fives because of the data that I was looking at and how I thought things were going to go. And clearly, it wasn't meant to be. I think the reality of it is what I was looking at has only been delayed. It hasn't been eliminated. There's not anything that's happened that still drives me to believe that we're not going to see the bond market continue to improve and rates head toward the fives. So keep that in mind as we're going. We're going to see today, again, PPI numbers. We're going to see further unemployment data. I expect a decent response to that in the marketplace. Again, 10-year auction was pretty good yesterday. So all in all, I'm looking for us to continue to improve. I don't believe we're going to see as big a move today as we saw yesterday, but I think the improvement is going to be over time. It's going to be slow, but it's going to be steady. And it's going to get there, and the Fed's going to raise rates. Don't get me wrong. I believe the Fed's going to raise rates at the end of this month and then look towards September about what they're going to do. But I think that's baked into the pie. I don't think anybody's going to be shocked that the Fed's going to raise another 25 or so basis points at the end of this month. And I really don't think it's going to matter. It's just going to prove the point that, they're lagging behind. And by September, maybe they decide that they've overdone it and overcorrected, and that the data is sharing with them what we've already seen. And that inflation is, well, not tame and certainly not 2%, but it is heading in that direction. And all of the months of, hikes are really impacting the market and will get the job done. But, here we are. So take one step at a time, follow the reports this morning, understand that this rally is good and it should hold up. And we're looking forward to the fact that this will be a slow and steady decline in mortgage rates. And I still look to believe, myself, I believe we're going to see those low sixes, high fives sometime this year. And as we, get back toward a more normalized inflation rate. So as always, if you have questions or comments, it's Mike at imtcoaching.com. Have yourselves a great week. We'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.